What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Jarrell Hicks. My fourth time today, December 3rd, doing this video. Let's get right into it. So, NBA only live stream. Like I said, my fourth time doing this. I did it, I tried this same live three times, and I wasted about 3 hours plus. So, almost time to go to bed. Got to work in the morning. So, I'm going to try one more time. Hopefully, it goes through right. Whew. All right. So, um, social media, follow me on all social media sites. My handle is the same on all social media: Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. Everything is Stats Free Sports. On to my Stats Free Sports podcast. It's available in all major podcast platforms except for iHeartRadio. So that's Spotify, Anchor, Overcast, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that stuff. All is statsfreesports.com, Stats Free Sports Podcast. Um, and like I said, Twitter, social media, Instagram, all that stuff is Stats Free Sports. Follow, subscribe, all that good stuff on all those platforms. Now let's get right into it. So I believe my audio is working this time, so I'm happy. I'm good. So let's talk John Wall to Russell Westbrook. Oh, excuse me, John Wall and Russell Westbrook trade. And if you have any comments or want to debate or any questions, drop in the comment section. I will be answering there. NBA topics only, please. But let's first talk about John Wall and Russell Westbrook trade. So, to me, honestly, it's only one loser, right? And it's a potential loser. It's not a loser yet, but let me break it down some. So, to me personally, John Wall and Russell Westbrook is an even wash, even trade. Um, the Rockets got a first round pick with John Wall because he's been out for 2 years. But if you haven't forgot, John Wall is super talented. 2 years ago, his last game was December 26, 2018. And around that time, he was considered a top 10 NBA point guard, all NBA guard, all that stuff. So he's legit, right? Um, I've been watching practice videos of him doing practice runs with other NBA players, things like that, with his former current teammate James Harden. He looks great. First step, speed is there, all that good stuff. So he looks fine to me, from what I can tell. Um, the only thing, we haven't seen him against legit NBA competition. He hasn't blown by somebody and run into a shot blocking 7 footer. That's 235. Other than that, though, he looks fine. His mid range always been good. His 3 point shot, at least from what I've seen, it looks better than it used to. He's been out for 2 years, so I'm pretty sure he's been practicing a whole lot on that 3 point shot. Because the game has changed since he's been out. Even though the game was always evolving and stuff, and the game was 3 point heavy back then. It's got even more to that point now. It's more floor spacing, it's more speed up and down, and it's more 3 point shooting. So I think John Wall should adjust fine. But that's really it on John Wall. We're going 2 years, but from what it looks like, he looks like he's in shape still, and he's around the same style. Same style, same level of player he was before he left. If not, like I said, I would probably give him 85 to 90% of his former self. Coming off an Achilles and an ACL, it's going to be tough, but he's had enough rest and recovery to get right. So, but it's always rest and things like that. But I think he'll be fine. Russell Westbrook, right? The Wizards get Russell Westbrook. And to be honest, I respect him. I like him a lot. But to be honest, Russell Westbrook, to me, is overrated. He had 3 straight triple double seasons, passing Oscar Robertson record. Great, that's cool. But to me, on the court wasn't really the most impressive thing. To me, it was the intangibles, the off the court stuff. Um, you know, the stamina, the endurance, the availability, the durability, the willingness to want to, the heart, the tenacity, the desire, all that stuff. All the intangibles, all the little things. That's very impressive to me. The feat is great itself. Don't get it twisted. I respect it, But in the same time, you can count 100 times during those 3 seasons where Steven Adams slid out the way so Russell Westbrook can come in and get the rebound and push it up the court and get that stat. You know what I'm saying? So you see it all the time where Steven Adams either slid out the way or he just posted up or blocked out his big man. No, he blocked him out long enough for Russell to come in there. Normally you'll box out and go for the rebound. Steven Adams and those guys were just boxing out and holding it so he could come in and come and get it. So, and there's nothing wrong with stat stuff. We've seen it on the biggest stage of the season last year, Game 6 of the NBA Finals. LeBron was stat stuffing. He was trying to get that last assist for a triple double. He didn't get it, but he was trying for it. They left him in. They left LeBron in like late into the fourth quarter. Like the game was over. The Heat was trying to make a comeback, but it was still down by like 15. And they weren't coming back. But yeah, LeBron stayed in until about 4 minutes, 3 minutes left in the game, if y'all remember. So there's nothing wrong with stat stuff. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying nothing about it. Everyone does it, But that's why I'm saying the three-peat for the triple double was fine. It was cool, but it wasn't the most impressive thing to me about it. It was the intangibles. But other than that, though, they're similar players. Quick first step, quick in general, fast, shifty, agile, good mid-range, good driving inside, can struggle from the three. But to me personally, John Wall is better, only because he's more consistent. He's a more consistent mid-range guy. He's a more consistent three-point guy. He's a more consistent, better decision maker than Russell Westbrook is. So, to me, but like I said, at best, it's an even wash. Both guys at their best, both guys healthy, it's an even wash. But I would still lean towards John Wall, right? And also, to go into my loser for this is going to be the Wizards. I think long term, another year from now, 2 years from now, a year and a half from now, the Wizards will be the long term loser, because the Rockets can't be the loser because James Harden already wants out. So John Wall coming to the Rockets won't do a thing to James Harden. The report came out, he preferred, quote unquote, James Harden preferred John Wall, but that's because they're friends as well. It's not like him and John Wall aren't friends. As I said earlier, they were doing the runs, the scrimmaging stuff together a few weeks ago with Michael Beasley. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like they're not friends. And, I don't want to expose too much of their nightlife, but they get it in after games. You know what I'm saying? If you know. So they go out after games. So, that's fine. They're going to tear up Houston and the other cities on that after party. That's cool. You might hear my kids in the background, so just don't mind them. But yeah, so they're friends as well. But Houston is already losing in general because Harden wants out. So they can't lose this trade because it doesn't really matter. You know what I'm saying? They could have kept John Wall. They could have kept Russell. I mean, they could have traded for John Wall, which they did, kept Russell, or traded for Oladipo, or traded for whoever. As long as it's not a top 6, top 7 talent guy, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be, James Harden wants out unless they get a big name guy, and they didn't get that in John Wall. So he still wants out as far as we're all concerned about it. So go on to the Wizards. Why I think the Wizards will be the loser, because Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal is a star, not a superstar. He's a fringe superstar. He's a star, though, a legit star that could potentially want out if him and Russell butt heads or struggle on court chemistry and stuff. He could want out. The Wizards right now are in the W column. They are winning. They have a star that wants to stay in a struggling situation, right? He signed a 2-year extension. He's there for 2 more years. He's been publicly and privately saying he wants to stay there. So he's not mixing his words and saying stuff behind people's back, because it has to be known privately, because the Warriors had the second overall pick, and Andrew Wiggins. They would have dang sure loved to trade for Bradley Beal, with Klay Thompson hurt or not. They wanted Bradley Beal bad. And Bradley Beal kept saying on every podcast you've seen him on, and I'm pretty sure privately to the owners, I want to stay here. I'm committed. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, Bill wants to be there. Now, on to Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook, whether it's his fault or not, right? Whether it's his fault or not, Russell Westbrook has played with 5 different star or superstar caliber type players, and they've all parted ways. KD, I'm not counting Harden the first time, because he was younger, the third year, right? So he wasn't a legit star yet. KD, after a year 6 or 7 with the Thunder, uh, and then came in Oladipo. He was traded for Paul George, so that's kind of a swap, whatever. But Oladipo, I still count it. He left for Paul George. Paul George just demanded to leave to go to the Clippers this last offseason. Carmelo Anthony came in with Paul George that same year. He didn't return via free agency. And then you have James Harden. And now him and James Harden just parted ways. So whether it's Russell Westbrook fault or not, which I don't know, I'm not blaming him at all. I'm just saying he has a tendency to go to a star or a superstar and they part ways pretty soon, a year or two after, since KD. So I'm just saying, let's say Bradley Beal has a personal problem in his personal life, not on the court with Russ at all. And for some reason, he demands to be traded because of personal reasons. Us fans won't know that. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's released, us fans won't know that. So to us, it looks like, okay, he's tired of Russ. But in real life, it could be, okay, it's a personal reason. I need to get out of the city for some reason. I'm in danger. Something. Hopefully none of that happens to him. But I'm just saying, it could happen. Something totally away from basketball could happen. Nothing to do with Russ at all. But Russ get the blames in the public and in the media because we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So, and I think, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I'm saying I think Bradley Beal will be enticed by another team, another star player wanting him eventually. Because you're like, bro, you turning 30 soon or you're getting older. You're a great player. You're wasting your years with a bad franchise. You have a erratic, inconsistent point guard in Russell. Come on here with me. That could be Devin Booker. That could be, another young star, De'Aaron Fox with Sacramento. It could be some other, another superstar. You never know. I'm just saying it gets enticing as you get older. Do you want to win or do you want to make money? And that's the question. Are you a real competitor? You want to make money, you have to leave Washington. You have to. You have to leave Washington. You know what I'm saying? So it might come in time in the next year and a half or 2 years, Bradley Beal might demand a trade. So we'll see. We'll see on that. But that's why I have the Wizards potentially losing this deal long term. But if they don't, if Bradley Beal stays and signs a max contract there, it's a still even wash because I don't see either team winning a title anytime soon. So at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, in my opinion. But that's that on that move. Now going on to LeBron and AD signed their 2 extensions. AD signed a max contract, 5 years, $195 million. LeBron signed a 2-year extension for, I believe, $85 million. Now, I was kind of shocked to see this from both sides because the rumor was they were waiting to see. Excuse me 1 second. Let me tell my kid to go calm down. Give me 1 second. Be right back. All right, sorry about that. That's happened when you have kids. So, I was good. Okay, so I was kind of shocked because the rumor was that LeBron and AD were waiting to see if Giannis signed his supermax or not. The Bucks and Giannis have till December 21st to sign that supermax. They haven't. No, there's no report on that yet about Giannis signing or not. So I was surprised to see AD have a long. Oh, well, I was saying to finish my thought before I go there. The rumor was they were gonna wait to see if he signed or not because if Giannis did not sign, they would both take short deals. Well, LeBron will not get extended. AD would take a 1+1 deal, a 2-year deal with the option after the first year, and then they would try to lure Giannis to LA didn't be a Laker. Now, we have no news on Giannis signing, and then AD signed a 5-year max deal. Then LeBron signed another max deal as well. So I'm confused. I guess they're not trying to get Giannis. I'm not sure how it works out cap wise. They might just have to let the rest of the team go. If that happens, trade everybody away, or everybody's contract is lined up for a year and a half, 2 years anyway, and then they'll be off the books, and then they'll just have the big three, and then they'll fill in around those guys. That may be the case. I'm not sure, but they might be at the Giannis stakes. But yeah, I have the Lakers as the best team in the league right now by far. They've made great moves. So, you know, I was seeing people saying like, man, why would LeBron do that? Job security. He's getting older. Injuries could happen. You never know. And where else you want to go to? Where else can LeBron go to? And you know what I mean? He's been in it's the third team already. He done won everywhere he's been to. There's nowhere else to go. He's in LA. I guess he's happy there. You know what I'm saying? Obviously his family's there. He's staying there long term. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But I have seen people bash him for doing that. Oh, too much money. You don't need it, and you're already close to a billionaire. All that stuff. But hey, stop counting folks' pockets. But let's move on to, let's see, what I'm going to go to next. I'll go to the Clippers. The Clippers drama going on. Paul George went on All the Smoke podcast, hosted by Steven Jackson, Matt Barnes. I like that podcast a lot. I haven't watched it since season 1, but season 2 started up a couple months ago or a month ago. I didn't watch it. I haven't watched it since, but I did enjoy season 1. Just didn't get back around to it. And plus, I don't want to watch other people's content. So, but I did see a clip from that. It went viral, and it says Paul George was up there talking about Doc Rivers and how he didn't make adjustments, how he played him wrong, how basically blaming everything on Doc Rivers, right? And I was kind of shocked to hear it, but at the same time, we have to remember, Paul George and Doc Rivers have a family connection. Paul George was engaged and was getting ready to marry Doc Rivers' daughter before he cheated on his daughter. And, now fast forward a couple years later, she's married to Seth Curry, and that was a big matchup, Mavericks versus Clippers, when Seth was doing his work against Paul George and scoring him and stuff like that. They were saying, the rumor was Seth was saying stuff to Paul George about marriage, about the girl situation, whatever. I don't know if it was true or not, but that's what the word was. So, that could be a potential reason why Paul George don't mind throwing him under the bus publicly, because him and Doc might not be on the same page in a personal life type of way. You never know. But if it's not the case, if they don't have nothing to do with it, I am shocked though, because you normally don't see current NBA stars throw people under the bus like that on a podcast. They'll normally do that stuff and hold that stuff in until they're retired or until they're on their last leg. They're in free agency for a year or two. No one picked them up. Then they'll start spilling tea and beans and things like that. No, they'll spill the tea on everything and tell behind the story stuff like that. But you rarely hear that during while they're still active. So it's kind of weird to see, but like I said, there is that dynamic with the father-in-law. He was the father-in-law to Paul George for a little bit, so it might be a personal issue there as well. We'll never know. But on to Doc Rivers. I want to speak on him a little bit before I change subject. Doc Rivers is one of the most overrated coaches in NBA history. He struggled with the Celtics. Well, he first struggled with the Magic, struggled with them for a little bit. Then he struggled with the Celtics, right? He got lucky, very lucky. Danny Ainge, his team president, and still is his president for the Celtics, called in a favor to one of his best friends of all time, which was the Timberwolves team president at that time, Kevin McHale, his former Boston Celtics teammate, great Kevin McHale, one of the best power forwards of all time, if y'all guys don't know. He called in a favor and said, yo, we want KG, right? Gave him a cool deal, not the best offer out there. And, and KG has said this as well. He chose them over the Lakers and I think the Phoenix Suns, right? But he chose Boston. He said, that's fine. I'll go there. But that's a sweetheart deal. For you call your best friend and say, I want KG, and I'm gonna bypass Kobe and the Lakers and Steve Nash and the Suns. And I'm going to daggone Boston to join Paul Pierce. The great KG who was still in his prime KG. And then you bamboozle Seattle Supersonics into giving away Ray Allen, you know what I'm saying, for almost nothing much really. You know what I'm saying? So that was crazy. That was crazy. He got lucky. Doc Rivers got lucky. And then Rajon Rondo came into himself that season. He got super lucky. That's all it was. And then now, after those 2 years in Boston, didn't win anything since, was traded away, was ready to go somewhere else. He went to LA. He was traded to LA, I believe. One of the few coaches trade that happened in NBA history. He was traded to LA, if I'm not mistaken. And then that's when the Lob City era started. Chris Paul came. Blake Griffin came from Oklahoma. Well, after his first year, the knee injury, then came back at the second year, his second rookie year, and went crazy. Lob City started. DeAndre Jordan, all those guys. And he had in that Clippers organization from his first year there to this past year, that just his last year with the Clippers, he's had a title contending team. I think he was there for 7 years. He had a title contending team for 5 of the 7 years, or was it 8 years, whatever, however long he been with the Clippers, he had a title contending team every year except for 2 years. That was the first year, and that was his second to last year, which was 2 seasons ago, before they got Kawhi and Paul George. Because they had no star. They made the playoffs, remember? They had no star in 2019, but they played well in the playoffs and fought hard, all that good stuff. But they didn't have no star player. Those 2 years they didn't have star, legit title contending team. But every other year except for those years, he had a legit title contending team and couldn't get it done. Albeit, I know Chris Paul and Blake Griffin couldn't stay healthy together in the playoffs. I understand that. Listen, things happen though. You got to move past it. You gotta make it happen. He didn't make it happen. So he was on his last legs anyway. So I don't believe Kawhi and Paul George got him fired. He was on his last legs anyway with the organization. If you guys remember, he was team president and head coach at one point. He made all the signings, all the trades, all the moves. He wanted the roster how he wanted it. And he signed Austin Rivers to what, a 3-4 year deal for like $40 million. So after that, Doc Rivers got his team president title restricted. I believe honestly he should have got fired that season. I think that was like 2017. Like 2016, 2017, when he got let go from the team president role. I think Doc should have got fired in general back then, but stayed on until this past season and lost his job, things like that. But I really don't believe Paul George and Kawhi got him fired. I just think it was just time. They probably didn't give him a good send off with Ballmer, with the owner Steve Ballmer, like, yo, we want him. They're like, it's up to you. Probably like, yo, he was all right, but it was up to you. I want to do my Clippers rant. Like I said, I did it. This is my fourth time doing this video. I did that rant. I did a rant portion every time, so I'm kind of tired out from doing the rant. But basically, my rant that I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna do. In a nutshell, basically, the rant is all about Kawhi Leonard, right? And everything go back to LeBron James. It's about LeBron James and Kawhi Leonard, basically. And Kawhi Leonard, who everyone built up in the world. So, okay, before I go there, I'll tell you how I got there, how I got to this rant. So 2 days ago, I got on YouTube for some reason and started looking up all the mainstream NBA analysts, Skip Bayless, Rob Parker, Chris Broussard, all the networks as well, Fox, ESPN, all the other ones as well, right? I went on all the major shows and I looked up how they felt about Kawhi winning the title against Golden State. I looked up how everyone felt about Kawhi going to LA. I looked up how everyone felt about Kawhi losing to the Nuggets, and I looked up how everyone felt about LeBron winning the title in the bubble. And people are, it just blew my mind how everyone built up from Kawhi Leonard going to the Raptors and winning, which was a good win. If Clay didn't get hurt, they wouldn't have won. If KD didn't get hurt, they wouldn't have won. Let's be honest. I'm being realistic. I'm a realist. Just being honest. But he won, played great, cool. He propelled himself to show when he's healthy, I'm a top 5 player. But everyone in the world stepped up on a podium and said, hey, 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 Kawhi's the best in the world. I said, look, my podcast, Stats Free Sports Podcast, started the night of the NBA draft of 2019 when Zion went first. That was my first podcast night. I was saying from the get-go, I was saying from that podcast on that the Lakers are the best team in the world. LeBron is still the best player in the world. And I meant that. I stuck on that and I meant that. And I don't have the proof, just so don't look it up because it's gone. I was using a third party platform, a different third party platform, which I'm using now to distribute my podcast to all those places I said earlier, all the major podcast platforms. I don't do it myself. I pay a service and they do it for me. So I was using someone different during that time. So when I came back and did a different third party service, I pulled all my old ones because it would look like I have 2 Stats Free Sports podcasts. It was only one. So I have the files, I have the audio for my original podcast stuff. I just have to put it out and all that stuff. But I haven't done it yet. Being a little lazy, but I'll do it one day. But yeah, I still have the proof. I have the proof. I said once Kawhi came, great move. There'll be a threat, all that stuff. But the Lakers' size will be a problem. And I stood on that for the entire year. And I stood on the fact that LeBron was the best player in the world the entire year. And look, and this leads me to my rant, which I'm not gonna do, but basically it was about Kawhi Leonard, who everyone deemed up to that point still the best player in the world, blew a 3-1 lead in the Western Conference semifinals. Crazy. If he was really the best player in the world, they should have daggone burnt LA down. You know what I'm saying? Like the analyst should have came on every day and talked about this for the rest of the year until 2021. If that would have happened to LeBron James, let's say the Clippers lost to the Nuggets when late September, early October, somewhere around that range. If that would have happened to LeBron James, whatever date the next day was, that the TV, that the NBA channels came back, that all the debate shows from that date to right now, December 3rd, that would have been the leading topic on every debate show from now until then. I mean, from then until now, from that date to December 3rd until the rest of life, it would have been LeBron James blew a 3-1 lead. He dang sure not Jordan. And people still having the nerve to say, Kawhi's the best, bruh. And now the narrative has went from, okay, Kawhi isn't the best now. It's KD because KD came back from injury. People are insane. And look, I understand the media is the media, whether it be sports, whether it be news, it's all fake. It's all just for show. I get it. They just talk just to talk. They run their mouth. They're not real people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they're not real. They're fake, but I'm just saying it's not always their real thoughts that's being pushed through. I'm not gonna get in my conspiracy theory type stuff, but it is what it is. But I'll get into it in another video in another channel. But yeah, the news aren't real. So yeah, so the news isn't real, sports or news wise. So yeah, all that stuff, all that propaganda bull stuff that Skip pushes out, Rob Parker pushes out, other guys like that, that's just nonsense. It's nonsense. It went from Kawhi being the best in the world, then Kawhi is now the Clippers are the best team in the world, and he's better than LeBron in LeBron's city. Now Kawhi loses, and he's not used to having a heavy workload. He's been taking days off. In the bubble, he played every day. Word, okay. And then it goes to, oh, this ring has an asterisk because LeBron didn't play the Clippers. Excuse me. And now it's, oh, the bubble ring, oh, doesn't count because the bubble ring, he didn't play anybody, he didn't play the Clippers. Bruh, he ducked the Clippers. How? How did he duck the Clippers if they lost? They held up the end of the bargain, and they won 5-5-5-5, and no 5-5-5-5-5-5 and 6. But they held up their end of the bargain, and the Clippers didn't. But just to bring it on Kawhi though, they would have verbally murdered LeBron James if he would have lost a 3-1 lead. Bro, it is not. Listen, this should be a topic on every debate show every single day. We were wrong about Kawhi Leonard. They should push that narrative all day, every day. Now they're just pushing, oh, KD's the best in the world now. He's back. He's back. Off an Achilles? Off an Achilles. Word. 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 Okay. And we're gonna see. Yeah, KD's the best scorer in the league because of size and the height and the range. That's fine. That's cool. We can have that. But guys have to understand, the best player in basketball has to do everything. Pass, lead on the floor, off the floor, rebound, score, uh, all everything. And LeBron gives you that. He gives you everything that you could want from a superstar player, the best player in the world. You saw last year in the bubble when he wants to play defense. He did it. He can score at will when he wants. He can rebound when he wants. He can assist when he wants, and be the best at it every time. He, bruh, LeBron to me, and I made this argument to other people. LeBron is the best passer in the world. He is the best point guard of all time, in my opinion. You put the size, you put the speed, you put the offensive awareness, you put the passing lane ability, the vision. LeBron to me is the best passer in the world of all time in basketball history. If LeBron wanted to, LeBron gives you about 8 rebounds a night, 7 rebounds a night. LeBron gives you about 25 points a game. He can give you more if he wanted to. He just don't. LeBron used to be a defensive juggernaut. LeBron should have won a defensive player of the year. It wasn't stolen by Marc Gasol. The media gave it to Marc Gasol instead. Bruh, LeBron is the best of all time. Well, just now, don't mention all time. Just say right now. Just say right now. LeBron's the most valuable player I've ever seen in my life. I'm 25 years old. And people throw that away for a daggone Kawhi Leonard, who has a great mid-range, great lockdown defense, a good three-point shot, and that's it. That's it. That's it. No passing, barely rebounds, no team leadership. Come on, man. There's more to it than just play. And LeBron's still the best player just based on play. Like it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me, man. How people just let stuff go and the fans just keep watching. I cannot personally watch stuff like that no more as I got older because it's just dumb. It's just dumb. It's just dumb. And then look, I'm going on a mini rant. Trust me, it was way worse. It was way worse and way more focused than what it was now. Now I'm just talking, just freestyling. I had a plan how I was going to do it my first 3 times recording this. But yeah, man, it's insane to me. And people don't understand where I'm coming from. They might not. I don't know. But bruh, people, y'all have to understand. If LeBron, who is deemed the best player in the world by most people, if he would have did a 3-1, lost a 3-1 lead, oh my God. I don't know how debate shows would even do it, bro. They would have 5 topics every day 4 on LeBron. Not LeBron's not Jordan. LeBron, he's fell off. He's old. All that, all that. It would have been it would have been crazy. And now now they giving Kawhi a pass, who they deem the best player in the world. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. But I'm off that now. I'm off that now, man. There's a little mini rant, but definitely it was way worse and way more emotion and passion behind it my first 3 times doing it. But on to my last topic of the video, LiAngelo Ball signed to the Detroit Pistons for a 1-year deal, non-guaranteed contract. It's called an Exhibit 10 contract. And basically it's a 2-way deal, to be honest, which sums up to be he'll probably be in the G League. When team camp starts next week or whatever, he has to show out and improve himself from the word go to stay on that team and keep that contract. But most likely, he'll be average. He'll be okay. It's a non-guarantee, so they can cut him when they want. They will cut him, most likely, right? They'll cut him, and then they'll give him a 2-way contract, which will be G League contract, and he'll be called up whenever he wants to be called up. Either way, I'm happy with it. I'm happy for him. You get your shot. You get your shot. It's all that matters. And people saying, "Oh, it's G League, it's G League." It doesn't matter about the G League. One of my favorite players in today's NBA, Christian Wood, just signed to the Houston Rockets. He just signed a 4-year deal for $40 million. He's a former UNLV player in college. We've been in the league for about 5 or 6 years now. Was in the G League for 3+ years with the Detroit Pistons. Finally got his chance and made it count. Showed improved those years on a small contract. Just got signed and trade from the Pistons to the Rockets. 4-year deal, $40 million. Bruh, as long as you get your shot, that's all that matters. And LiAngelo Ball got his shot, and we'll see what he does with it. But I'm happy for him. I'm proud of him. LeVar Ball, all the slack he gets over the years, he was right about a lot of things. I'm not going to mention them all now, but he was right about a lot of things that people just took away from him because he said it wrong or disrespectful, or he said it, not in the best way possible. But I like what he did. So shout out to LiAngelo Ball and the Ball brothers and LeVar Ball. Happy for you guys. But that's it for video, guys. Like I said, all my social media handles are all the same. At Stats Free Sports on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Stats Free Sports Podcast is available on all podcast platforms except for iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, and all those good places. That's it for video, guys. I'll see you guys next time.